Today we're turning this duck into a bottle opener. For this project, you're going to need a good duck, some bottle opening hardware, some spade bits, and this guy has a little bit of an injury from a previous life, so we have a little bit of scrap purple heart here to try to fill this in. Let's get started. So we're going to start by fixing up his tail. Going to mark roughly where we want this purple heart to go. Think about a little notch here, kind of set it in about there, just give him a little purple fleck to the end of his tail. You can see here we have a good little chunk taken out of him. Gonna fill that in. Got to make a match and do some finishing. All right, get this guy going well. Fits fairly snug all the way around. Start cleaning this up a little bit and we'll move on to the next step. You see here, we got a lot of the bulk off. I think we're ready to glue. We'll do all the rest of the finishing and the shaping after the glue's dry. This many clamps is probably overkill, but he's dried overnight, so let's give him a look. Nice and solid. Let's take a few things like the 4-in-hand, maybe the spoke shave, get this filed down. We have to be kind of careful around some of this because he's this color originally and this is not the deepest stain. I've already kind of removed some of it in some of these areas, so might make that a design element. We're gonna try something a little funkier here. Because I wanted a nice clean transition for the purple. And no, electric tape is not the preferred tape for this, but it'll work. Hopefully. So we're going to try to sand this out, make this more of a design element, make this pop a little bit more. So a lot of the marks came off with the tape, so I'm just going to take them back down all the way to bare wood. It's not a great stain, so I don't think it's going to take too long, but I'll be right back. Okay, so, sorry. Okay, so, went a little overboard. After some of the finish came off, we now have a completely stripped duck. But, I like that darker color a little bit. So, luckily we have a little bit of stain from a previous project. Before we move on to the stain, let's get everything cut up for the actual hardware. Get the actual bottle opener part of the bottle opener duck done. Then I'll finish them up. All right, let's get that going. Back in the vise. Got our bits right here. Got our hardware. Matches just right, so you just gotta kind of think this about the thickness of this guy, maybe a little bit deeper. Get this going. And then, just so the cap has some room to go, we'll use this countersink just a little bit farther. That's the easiest part of the entire build. I've made the rest of this entirely too difficult. Your duck didn't have a weird thing on the back. Skip all that other stuff. But we're gonna get him looking right, looking pretty, get to opening some bottles. If you've made it this far, you have the patience of a saint, and I thank you. I'd say he's pretty handsome. It's been a roller coaster, but now we're waxing, a little bit of paste wax. He's gonna look really nice. That project was a little more than I bargained for. This duck really gave me the business, but we ended up with a really cool project, something fun to put on the mantle, open up a couple bottles, so can't be too mad. I guess the last thing I can say is thanks for watching. Cheers.